It's time to be a man. It's time to take care of yourself. It's time to stop wearing dresses and be a man. Put on an armor, not a dress. And your laughter will not change the fact that this is your fault. This is your fault. You destroyed and make Europe weak. Russian drones are flying over Poland, and what you're doing, you're having another discussion about helping migrants, and you're laughing. You're not going to laugh for long. That is the problem. You do not understand your position.
In 2020, a German 15-year-old girl was mass raped by 9 different migrants in a Hamburg city park. In October last year, a only 12-year-old girl was murdered in Paris by a Nigerian migrant who had been ordered to leave the country. And just weeks ago, a 16-year-old Ukrainian refugee was pushed in front of a train in Germany and killed by an Iraqi migrant under deportation orders. These are not individual examples only. In Denmark alone, over the last 10 years, 1 in 3 women killed was killed by a migrant. Without mass migration, countless European women and children will still be alive today, spared from violence, abuse and exploration. When will the Commission, the majority in this Parliament, begin to take the side of the victims instead of the side of the perpetrators? When will you put the safety of our mothers, sisters and daughters above your failed ideology? I fear never, but already now is too late.
The EU has been harassing Hungary for 10 years now because we built a big, long and beautiful border fence to stop illegal migrants. 10 years ago, Germany and the EU adopted the open borders policy of George Soros. Rapists, extremists and violent criminals have flooded Europe. It has ruined the lives of millions. Hungary did the exact opposite. We stopped more than 1 million illegal immigrants. Europe, you are welcome. But instead of a reward, we got a fine of 200 million euros, plus a fine of 1 million euros per day until we don't allow illegals into Europe. This is pure madness. At the same time, Ursula von der Leyen visits the Polish border and announces more EU funding for it. Denmark is allowed to detain illegals indefinitely. The double standards and hypocrisy is massive. The damage you have done to Europe is irreversible. Hungary is showing, however, the way. We won't give in, we won't pay, we will defend our borders, we will defend our women, and we will defend our identity. And this is the way to make Europe great again.
A parent's worst nightmare. Your little girl never arrives home. You search the streets, your fear turns to panic. You see the police blockade. Your worst fears are confirmed. She's found in the woods, brutally raped, bound and strangled with her own shoelaces. Luna, a beautiful 9-year-old girl, lived through this nightmare. Now, she has irreversible brain damage and is unable to care for herself. She's a victim of mass migration. And why? The predator that attacked her, a teenage migrant, had already assaulted a woman and groped classmates. The authorities knew, yet did nothing. As a father of 4 young daughters, my duty is to protect my wife and my children. As legislators, our solemn duty is to protect Europeans. And to those of you that deny the link between migration and safety for women, how many more? Luna, Lola, Leona, Elin, Lisa, Alexandra, Saga, Philippine, Mia, and Adriana. How many more will there have to be before you at least care?
10 years ago, Angela Merkel, speaking about illegal immigration, declared, "We can do it." She was absolutely right. She and her companions almost did it. They have corrupted the European Union with fanatical Islamists. They have turned half of Europe's countries, including Greece, into ghettos. They have left rapes, violence, murders, and robberies to God's mercy. However, rest assured that future historians will accuse all of you, the leaders of both sides, of heinous treason. Both center-left and center-right, for the internal conquest of Europe. A Europe that was once proud and sovereign is today being murdered by the Islamists, whom she foolishly welcomed into her own core. They do not obey our laws, They do not respect our religion, not even our skin color, let alone our culture and our morals.
They live off benefits at our expense to rape us, to steal from us, and to murder us. Shame on you, EPP. Shame on the left. Shame on all those who planted the Islamic atomic bomb in the guts of our Christian Europe. And since you want them so much, take them into your own homes.
Yes, there is foreign propaganda from Russia and elsewhere. But the Commission's so-called democracy shield does not defend our democracy against outside threats. Your shield protects your narrative from internal opposition. You want to control and steer public debate, and for that purpose, you fund fact-checking networks, you pressure platforms through the DSA by threatening them with fines in the billions. You smear the opposition, dismiss legitimate questions as conspiracy theories, and brand dissenting views as hate speech or disinformation. What you call protection of democracy is in fact protection of your illegitimate power grab. Citizens are sick of this, so you jail them for speaking their mind. Your idea of defending democracy destroys democracy. Without free speech, there is no democracy. Without free speech, there is only tyranny and totalitarianism. Well, congratulations, you're well on your way to totalitarianism. But the good news is you will fail. The people will stop you, and the day they do is the day that I will rejoice. Thank you.
Recently in Germany, a migrant pushed a 16-year-old girl under a train. A few years ago, another immigrant killed an 8-year-old in the same manner. In January, in Bavaria, an immigrant attacked a group of kindergarten children with a knife, killing a 2-year-old and the man who tried to defend him. In Poland, just in one region this year, 2 Poles have been killed in knife attacks by immigrants. Illegal immigration into the European Union remains at a very high level. Every year, there are several 100,000 illegal border crossings. The states have not managed to deal with the consequences of the record year 2015, when more than 1.8 million people illegally crossed the border of the European Union. For the past 10 years, there has been no political accountability for this catastrophe, growing threats to the Schengen area, and significant ties between smugglers and left-wing non-governmental organizations. How many more lives must be sacrificed before the left-wing mainstream stops supporting the current pathology? That is why it is high time to establish a parliamentary inquiry committee in the European Parliament on illegal migration in the European Union to investigate why the European Union does not want to deal with mass legal and illegal migration. Thanks.
Dear leftists, you've been attacking President Trump for years. Now you're whining about tariffs. You're not happy that he doesn't want to be your private bodyguard. But it's not Trump's decision to spend money on illegal migrants instead of army or industry. It's not Trump's fault that you restricted European industry because of your green god and because of your sick ideology. It's not his fault.